Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about the temporal bone. We already know that the temporal bone, which is a pair of bones which contribute the base and the lateral wall of the skull. For the cranial cavity, it form the middle and posterior cranial fossa. It form a part of middle and posterior cranial fossa. Each bone which is divisible into four parts. First part is the squamous part, then the mastoid part, the petrous part which is seen in the medial part of the bone, medial aspect of the bone, and a tympanic part. So the temporal bone, this is the temporal bone, and this temporal bone which articulates with the parietal bone superiorly, behind it articulate with the occipital bone, and in front it articulate with the zygomatic bone and also with the sphenoid bone. So it articulate with four bones: parietal, occipital, zygomatic, and the sphenoid bone. The parts, this is the squamous part. It consists of lateral surface and a medial surface. So here the squamous part, it's a squamosa is the vertical plate, semicircular free border which is serrated on the antro superior portion. It is semicircular free border and it is serrated antro superior portion. Its lateral surface which is smooth and give attachment to temporalis muscle. Here comes a fossa which is called the part of temporal fossa, and here attaches the temporalis muscle, and it consists of zygomatic process which project from the lower part of the squamous part, and it give attachment to its border, give attachment to the masseteric muscle. And there is a mandibular fossa over here. The mandibular fossa is situated below the root of the zygomatic process, and sulcus for middle temporal artery. Sulcus for middle temporal artery passes upward on the posterior part of the scoma. This is the sulcus for middle temporal artery. So in this bone you can see here is the zygomatic process, and here attaches the masseter, and below the arch, the zygomatic arch, there is the mandibular fossa, and here in the squamous surface there is a sulcus for middle temporal artery. Medial surface of squamous part. The medial surface is directed towards the middle cranial fossa, and it present impressions for the cerebral sulci and gyrae, and it deep sulci for the middle meningeal artery. And here is the impressions for the cerebral sulci and gyrae, and this is the sulcus for the middle meningeal artery. This is the mastoid part. The mastoid part, this is a thick conical projection from the squamous and petrous part, from the squamous and the petrous part in the medial, and it comes in opposition with the occipital and parietal bone. It comes in opposition with the occipital bone here and also to the parietal bone here. Its lateral surface which is rough and give attachment to the posterior auricular muscle and the occipital muscle. This is the lateral surface. It consists of lateral surface and medial surface. The lateral surface is rough and give attachment to the posterior auricular muscle here and the occipital muscle on this portion. Here consists of minute foraminas which is called the mastoid foramina, and this mastoid foramina which here is the mastoid foramina, and this mastoid foramina which transmit the mastoid branch of occipital artery and the mastoid emissary vein to the sigmoid sinus. Mastoid branch of occipital artery and mastoid emissary vein to the sigmoid sinus. And we have a tiny lateral projection, which is called the supramental spine. Here the mastoid part, there consists of a mastoid foramina here. This mastoid foramina, which transmit mastoid branch of occipital artery and mastoid emissary vein to the sigmoid sinus. It transmit mastoid branch of occipital artery and mastoid emissary vein to the sigmoid sinus. And you can see here a tiny spine of a tiny plate of bone which is called the supramental spine. Supramental part of supramental spine, and here it projects laterally from the postero-superior margin of the external acoustic meatus. So this area which is called the external acoustic meatus, about postero-superior to the external acoustic meatus, there consists of suprameatal spine. Okay, projection, a downward projection which is called the mastoid process, and here it give attachment to the musculature of the shoulder girdle and of the neck. The mastoid process which give the musculature of shoulder girdle and the neck. So we have the mastoid foramen, supramental spine over here. Here is the external acoustic meatus. Here form the mandibular fossa, and here is the mastoid process. And the area above the supramental spine, there is a triangular area above the supramental spine, and this area which is called the supramental triangle, the medial surface, here comes the medial surface of the mastoid process, and here the mastoid medial surface, there present a deep groove. Here is the deep groove which is called the sigmoid sulcus. Deep groove for the sigmoid sulcus, and here lodges the sigmoid venous sinus. Of the dura mater. Within the mastoid process, you can see numerous cavities over here. And this is the mastoid air cells lining the mucous membrane. Mastoid air cells, and it is lined by the mucous membrane, and it is continuous with that of the tympanic cavity. And the foramen lacerum intervenes between the apex and sphenoid bone. Already we have studied in the middle cranial fossa the apex of the temporal bone which is attached to the sphenoid bone, and it forms the posterior boundary of middle cranial fossa, and there form a foramen which is called the foramen lacerum. Okay, and it is this foramen lacerum which intervenes between the apex and the sphenoid bone, and the structures which passes through the foramen lacerum, which is the meningeal branch of ascending pharyngeal artery and the emissary vein, and the other structures are the internal carotid artery with venous and sympathetic plexus around it. And we already studied the sphenoid bone, the body of sphenoid bone. On the lateral part of the body of sphenoid bone, there is a sulcus, there is a groove for the internal carotid artery. So this groove extends posteriorly and leads into the foramen lacerum. So the structures internal carotid artery and with the venous and sympathetic plexus around it which passes through the foramen lacerum, and also the greater petrosal nerve unite with the deep petrosal nerve to form the nerve to pterygoid canal, and it also transmits through the foramen lacerum. You can see in this picture, this is the petrous part of the temporal bone. So here comes the apex of the petrous part of temporal bone, and this region which become the base, and it is united to the mastoid process, isn't it? And here the petrous part which got three surfaces which is called the anterior surface, posterior surface, and the inferior surface. Anterior and posterior surface, and this is the inferior surface. Here This is the anterior surface, and this surface is smooth and form a part of middle cranial fossa. Form a part of middle cranial fossa, and laterally it is fuses with the squamous of the petrous temple and form the petrosquamous suture. Here form the it laterally it fuses with the squamous part of the temporal bone and form the petrosquamous suture. This is the anterior surface, smooth, form the part of middle cranial fossa, laterally fuses with the squamous part of the temporal bone to form the petrosquamous suture. So here is the anterior border. The anterior border of the petrous temporal bone, petrous part of temporal bone, will fuses with the greater wing of sphenoid bone. Okay, and here form a canal. Okay, canal. The canal which is called the musculotubular canal, and here the musculotubular canal which is divided into upper part and lower part. The upper smaller part and the lower larger part. Upper smaller part there forms the semi canal for the tensor tympani muscle, and the lower larger canal which is formed the isthmus of eustachian tube or the auditory tube. So the muscular tubular canal which is divided by a tiny plate of bone into upper smaller canal and lower larger canal. Upper smaller canal is for the semi-canal for the tensor tympani muscle, and the lower canal is for the isthmus of eustachian tube or the auditory tube. Near the middle of the anterior surface, there is an eminence. Near the middle of anterior surface, there is an eminence which is called the arcuate eminence. And this arcuate eminence is formed by the superior semicircular canal of the internal ear. And to the anterior and lateral part of the articular eminence, arcuate eminence, there is a tiny plate of bone which is called the tegmen tympani. Tegmen tympani. Okay. And it forms the roof of tympanic cavity. So here this is the anterior surface and form an eminence which is the arcuate eminence formed by the semicircular canal of internal ear, and here form a roof of tympanic cavity which is called the tympanic tegmen or tegmen tympani. And you can see here is the fissure which connect the petrous part and the squamous part of temporal bone, which is the petrosquamous fissure, and this is the apex of pyramid, apex of the pyramid, petrous part of temporal bone. You can see an opening here near to the apex. This is called the internal acoustic pore or internal acoustic meatus. So here is the tegmen tympani, arcuate eminence, petrosquamous part, and the internal acoustic pore or internal acoustic meatus. Near the apex of petrous temporal bone, there is a medial opening, and this opening which is called the hiatus of facial canal. And you can see here in this picture, here near to the apical region or in middle part of the petrous part, there is an internal acoustic meatus, and in medial portion there is a small opening which is for the facial canal. And here you can see a petrosal sulcus, superior petrosal sulcus. This is the superior petrosal sulcus, and here comes the inferior petrosal sulcus. Okay, and so this is the petrous part of temporal bone. Here in this picture you can see that the midway between the base and the apex, this is the midway between base and apex, you can see is the internal acoustic meatus. And behind and above there is a subarcuate fossa. And laterally and just below there is a vestibular aqueduct. So here there is the internal acoustic meatus, above that subarcuate fossa, and below there is a vestibular aqueduct. And here this is the inferior surface of the petrous part of temporal bone. Here in the inferior surface it articulate with the occipital bone, and this surface form, and here this surface which form the jugular foramen. The inferior surface of petrous part articulates with the occipital bone, and this surface here forms the jugular foramen. And we know that the jugular, after the articulation with the occipital bone, there is a jugular foramen is formed. After the articulation with the occipital bone and petrous part of temporal bone, they form the jugular foramen, and two tiny plate of bone divide the jugular foramen into three parts. Okay, lateral part, medial part, and a middle part. So the lateral part there consists of a foramen, lateral part of the foramen, which contain a junction of sigmoid sinus, the junction of the sigmoid sinus and the internal jugular veins. Okay, junction of sigmoid sinus with the internal jugular vein, and the medial part of jugular foramen, which contain the inferior petrosal sinus here, and the middle part which consists of cranial nerves 9, 10 and 11 cranial nerves are here. So the glossopharyngeal, vagus and accessory nerves are here in the middle part. So the jugular foramen, which is divided into three parts, the lateral part with the junction of sigmoid sinus with internal jugular vein, and the medial part with the inferior petrosal sinus, and the middle part with the cranial nerves, three cranial nerves. In front of the lateral compartment of jugular foramen is the jugular fossa, and here largest the superior bulb of the internal jugular vein. Medial to the fossa is the external aperture of cochlear canaliculus, and here in front of the fossa is the there is a fossa which is called the external carotid foramen, and here enters the internal carotid artery with its plexus of veins and the sympathetic plexus. So here in front of the jugular foramen there is the lateral part of foramen, there is jugular fossa, and in behind or medial part there is the external aperture of cochlear canaliculus, and here in front there is the external carotid foramen. Then is the styloid process. This is the styloid process of temporal bone. Here in the posterior aspect of the base of the styloid process there is a foramen which is called the stylomastoid foramen, and through this stylomastoid foramen, which is the external orifice of facial canal, and it transmits the facial nerve, stylomastoid artery, and sometimes the auricular branch of vagus nerve. So in the base of the styloid process, on the posterolateral part of the base of the styloid process, there is a foramen which is called the stylomastoid foramen, and this stylomastoid foramen is the external orifice of facial canal, and it transmits the facial nerve, stylomastoid artery, and sometimes the auricular branch of the vagus nerve. And here comes the tympanic part. Here comes the tympanic part, and the tympanic part of bone which is thin and rough, and it is hollow above and concave in front and below. Okay, it is hollow above and concave in front and below, and it forms the anterior, posterior and inferior part of the external acoustic meatus. Anterior, posterior and inferior wall of external acoustic meatus. To the postero-superior surface faces the external aquatic meatus and tympanic cavity. So here this bone is thin and rough. Above it is hollow and concave in front and below. And forms the anterior, inferior and posterior wall of external acoustic meatus. And also you can see this is the mandibular fossa. Here it formed the fissure which is called the squamo-tympanic fissure. This part which is called the squamous part and the tympanic part. So here form the squamo-tympanic fissure. And here the temporal bone, already I have said, it articulates with the parietal, occipital, sphenoid and the zygomatic bone, and the sutures here formed are squamous part, and the sphenoid part form the spheno-squamous suture, and here the squamosal suture with the squamous part of temporal bone and the parietal bone, and here the parieto-mastoid suture with the parietal and the mastoid part of the temporal bone, and occipito-mastoid suture with the occipital part and the mastoid part of temporal bone, and the petrosquamous suture. The petrous part and the squamous part form the petrosquamous suture. So here articulate with the parietal, sphenoid, zygomatic, and the occipital bone. So these all about the temporal bone. Hope you all understand the bone. Clearly watch the video and study well the parts of it and the structures passing through the foramens. And thank you all. Thank you very much.